So by popular demand, while you're trying to figure out what's going on with that lens,
Yeah, it looks a little bit strange.
I like that, but I don't like it. We'll come on to that in a sec.
Okay.
So, yeah, by popular demand, we put on the forum, because TT Artisan got in touch with us and said, do you want to review a DX lens? I said, well, I've just sold my DX camera and you're probably going to sell yours soon. I'm like, we're kind of moving on, but I put it on the poll on our channel and people said, yeah, they're really interested because maybe in the future there'll be better DX cameras anyway, which there probably will be. So here we are. TT Artisan 56mm 1.8 DX lens. Now we're talking, the build of it already is causing a bit of confusion.
Well, yeah, because
Secure,
it was catching a little bit, then it came off, but then it feels a little bit.
Yeah, but look around it. That's the USB. It's in the lens cap, which is
it's interesting.
Yeah, but it doesn't really go on securely, does it? So there's the electronic connections. A bit strange. Yeah, so the other side, we have one of these weird bayonet. I like them.
So to get that lens cap off, you've got to get the lens hood off.
Yeah, so you can't put the lens cap on with the lens hood on. You have to take it off, and then take that bit off, then put that one back on.
Meanwhile,
you missed what
the talent got bored and went home.
Yeah. And then you can't put, then the lens cap you can't put back on with it like that, obviously.
Doesn't that interfere with the...
I thought it would as well.
It doesn't?
No.
Wow.
It looks too narrow, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought.
So it's like one of those old Sony video camera hoods. So yeah, the build already we're talking about. So it's a metal and plastic construction. It feels really nice in the hand. It's light, I think 250 gram-ish.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a few strange, quirky designs on this. This is a brand new lens, came out last month. But
so it's basically built for the Z50 or the ZFC.
Yeah, which is a bit strange because... Well,
Nikon hasn't got a massive range of DX lenses, has it?
No. So they released a few last year, but on a lower megapixel camera, you're going to struggle a bit more because on the Z8 you're going to have a 20 megapixel, and on Z6 equivalent it's a lot lower.
Only if it's a low megapixel FX camera.
Yeah.
Because,
okay.
So.
But it's equivalent. I think the DX cameras Nikon currently have about 20 megapixel, aren't they? ZFC, ZF, Z50.
I thought it was a bit more than 20, but you might be right. So you've tried it. You've compared it with the 85mm 1.8 Nikon full frame lens.
Yeah, so it's the equivalent with a DX crop. It's equivalent to about 85mm.
Yeah, so that's what you compared it with.
It is, but I feel like it's a really unfair comparison because the 85 is a professional line, S-line lens, and this is a DX lens. So so the DX crop doesn't automatically go in on the full frame cameras. I don't know why.
I think if it's a Nikon DX lens,
it will only do
it will automatically switch full frame camera to DX mode.
Yeah.
But these sort of third party lenses, they don't, which in some ways gives you the flexibility then, doesn't it?
Sometimes, like with the Brighton lens, it was in between DX and full frame, so which was good, so you got more frame. But this one is a proper DX, I think, more or less.
Yeah.
But so sharpness wise, it's a sharp lens.
Right.
It's the sharp, 1.8 minimal focal distance. It's fine. It's good. I wouldn't say it's soft by any means.
No.
And if you stop down to 2.8, it has that clinical sharpness that you want. But no, the image rendition is quite good. No problems there at all with image rendition either.
Okay. How do you find it with the autofocus?
It was good. In good light, it's fine. You're not going to have any problems. But sometimes it has that whirling in and out a bit. So if you're going from near to far...
Hunting.
Yeah, hunting. Yeah. So it goes kind of in and out a bit just before it, compared to the 85, Nikon 85. But it's fine. This is... No, it's not going to stop you getting photos. I mean, this is predominantly, I would say it's a portrait lens. Sometimes it has a cooler tone, sometimes a warmer tone.
Right.
It might be the camera that can't work with it so well. I'm not sure. But the 85 Nikon was consistent. I mean, I took a picture of you on that rock a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
I sent it you, didn't I?
Oh, you did, yeah.
Oh, I sent you some blind tests, didn't I?
You did.
That was a good
And I must admit they were close. And I thought, I know he's comparing it with my 85 1.8, so
yeah,
I need that to be to win.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit, oh, are they the ones on the right? And you said yes. So, phew.
Yeah. Well,
But it was close.
it was close. The
Very
image
close.
rendition, I haven't edited it, they don't edit it. And the only reason I can tell is because the background compression. And this is due to the DX lens capability. Because a full frame lens compresses differently than a DX lens.
Right.
That's why I got rid of my ZFC, really, because I just wasn't happy with that image look. It wasn't compressed enough, and it lacks some areas. And that's not really the lens's fault, it's just the way DX works.
So if you weren't going for like maximum shallow depth of field look,
No,
it would be
it'd be fine, yeah.
perfectly sharp.
I mean, if you wanted that, just get a longer DX lens. It's maybe like a 75 1.2 that's around.
so this is a 1.8, but that's on DX. So
About
is that effectively like 2.7 ish, 2.8?
I think it's about 2.4.
Okay.
But it's hard to work out. But yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
So you can. That's a good, really the kind of it is. You're shooting, and that's the kind of calculations that annoyed me as well. Like with wider lenses, you have to think about, oh, it's not really wide. You have to add a bit. And I'm used to focal lengths in my head, and it was just confusing me.
I'm going to get you a calculator for Christmas, so
Thank you very much.
that'll be fine. It'll make it easier.
Yeah, so it's a solid all-round. Apart from the build and the lens hood and the lens cap weird
I know,
situation.
I'm annoying myself because I keep fiddling with this because I can't.
I can't get it on very well either.
No.
Now we come to the price. So the image rendition's all good, build's fine. £159.
Wow.
It's a DX lens. That's
Yeah.
what you have to remember. They're always going to be cheaper.
And how much is the 85 1.8 Nikon?
Oh well, £500 at least
More.
on the used market.
Okay.
So you have to,
Yeah.
it's a very strange calculation to do in your head because it's DX.
Yeah.
Yeah, for DX lens, it gets my stamp of approval, but it's always going to be lacking compared to full frame, and that's why I got rid of my DX stuff.
Yeah, but you've got to think of the price point.
Yeah.
I think it does get my approval for when you
Okay.
bear in mind £159.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's a good lens for that.
Yeah.
So,
Apart from the lens hood situation.
well,
But if
So-
you were a portrait photographer or a casual family and street photographer, you wanted something with like 85 kind of look. I mean, £159 is
you can take a risk on that. can't you?
really, you can take, that's a fantastic
Put
price.
it in your bag, and you've got something there that could come in handy in the right circumstances.
And I love that these I hate saying third party lenses because it automatically degrades them, but they're getting so much closer now to like professional
third
level.
party just means it's not Nikon, doesn't it?
It does,
Doesn't mean
yeah.
doesn't mean they're worse.
It's true.
It's just
But
non-Nikon brands.
They're getting so much closer.
Yeah,
now. We've
yeah.
reviewed a lot of third party lenses and they're
Yeah.
getting so close. And the image quality now is not bad at all. I'm perfectly happy with it.
Yeah.
It's just that full frame DX
Yeah.
comparison. I mean, do you think that Nikon, we're ready for the next DX camera now? Do you think?
I would say so. Not that we're necessarily that interested in
No.
them, although, a lot of people will use them for wildlife to get
The extra
that
reach?
DX crop and extra reach with the FX lenses and all the
Yeah.
rest of it. So
Well, they're usually cheaper and lighter. We both, well, you've still got yours
I've
just
still
about.
got a Z50. I'm going to sell it because I never use it.
I bought the ZFC because I miss it in a way. It was so light and
Yeah.
portable. I could put it in any pocket.
I
almost.
think there was very little difference between the ZFC and the Z50.
No, it was pretty much the same.
Yeah,
Just the retro
so
design. Yeah.
to answer your question, it probably is about time. I mean, I bought that Z50, I remember, right back just before COVID, right at the beginning of 2020. So that's 4.5 years ago.
It's a
perhaps,
good- yeah.
perhaps they don't see the
I
huge...
think they do. I think they have production making issues.
Yeah, but
Like
perhaps
the
they don't
Z6
see that the
took 4
DX
years to-
market, though, is massively...
But it's a good entryway though, isn't it? Because it's cheaper. Like that's £159 if you're starting out, or just do photography, a hobby, an occasional hobby.
Yeah.
Then something like this lens and a setup like that would really suit.
Would you just get a Z6 Mark 1 on the used
Yeah.
market?
Yeah, probably.
So-
£500.
And
But
you'd
then-
still be a great camera.
A few years ago, I think maybe 2 years ago, Nikon started releasing DX lenses. They did that ultra wide
Yeah.
remote focal range one. You can control the focus range with your camera and remote and your phone and all
I've
sorts.
no idea what you're talking about now.
Yeah, you can control the zoom with your without touching the zoom ring.
Why?
It's electronic.
It's a lot easier to move a zoom ring than.
It's for filmmakers, I think. It's
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
right.
Or if you're using it remotely. But yeah, so they started bringing out DX lenses. I thought, oh, okay, here we go.
Okay.
And then
And then they
that's been it.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah. There's your review. I mean, what did you guys think? Obviously, it's a good lens, but where does DX fall now in the bigger scheme of things? It's hard to really figure out. But good lens overall. Well done, TT Artisan, for sending it us.
Yep.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
It's enjoyable using it. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.